Alright guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Andy here from Peninsula Painting. So today we're going to paint the Death Guard MyphiticBlight-hauler. So I've already primed this with the surface primer from Vallejo, and now we're going to base coat it with Xandri Dust, Citadel Xandri Dust. I thin this paint down with a 1-to-1 mixture of water to paint. This basically allows paint to be applied to the model at a smoother rate, preventing any detail to be clogged. So the reason why I do this is because I sort of like to have my Death Guard in a mix between the original Death Guard colours and the new Plague Marine green colours. So I'm just applying this with a large brush just to get it on the area quicker. So once that's dry, we're going to use the Citadel's base paint, Death Guard Green. Now we're going to apply this over all of the Xandri Dust, but it doesn't matter if we don't cover it completely, because I'd like to see a little bit of Xandri Dust coming through when we apply the washes. It gives it that bony effect. I started off using the large brush, but then switched to a smaller brush, a size 4 Kolinsky sable brush, for a bit more control. For all the metallic trim areas, I'm going to use the Army Painter War Paints Weapons Bronze. I've decided to use a different colour this time, guys, because last time I used one of the Citadel paints, but I just fancied a bit of a change. And as you can notice, I've painted the little fangs and teeth in Xandri Dust. Also, I'm using a size 2 Kolinsky sable brush to paint in this trim. It gives a bit more control for the detailed areas, preventing the paint to spill over to the rest of the model. So this is what the model looks like with all the decorative trim being painted gold. And now we're going to use the Gunmetal by Army Painter War Paints. This will be used for the tracks and the biomechanic parts on the model. And once again, I'm using my size 6 Klinsky sable brush. I'm using a overbrush technique, which is essentially a wet dry brush. You know, it's gonna leave a bit of the black base coat underneath in showing in the details, but it's gonna give a good base coat to the silver. This model's starting to shape up nicely now, isn't it, guys? So I'm going to use this Citadel shade, Agrax Air shade. This is the liquid talent stage. You all know how much I love using washes and shades and stuff like that, guys. I'm just slapping it all over the model, getting it all into all the detailed recessed areas, making it pop, making it give it that 3D effect, the realistic look. And once I've applied it all over the miniature, guys, I'm going to go over it with another brush and clean it all up, making sure those streaks are left. So I've left the model for a couple of hours to ensure that Agrax earth shade is dried, because we don't want to add any more layers of paint over wet paint, do we? So next we're going to use Citadel's Layer Nurgling Green paint. I'm going to use this as a dry brush to highlight the model. I'm using a flat, large brush. I think it's a size 14 to do this. Just to give some information to people that don't know how to dry brush, who have never done it before, you put a bit of paint on the tip of a dry brush, guys. It has to be dry, otherwise it won't work. And then what you do is you pat the paint onto a piece of kitchen towel or toilet roll so that there's nothing left on the brush, and then you lightly go over the model, over the raised areas, to catch all the detail. So that tabletop standard is starting to take form now, guys. As you can see, there's detailed recessed area, there's a bit of shadowing, and now there's highlights on the model. I'm going to paint the lens on his little eye and the rockets for the missile launcher with Mephiston Red by Citadel Paints. As always, I thin my paints down, doing a 1-to-1 mixture of paint to water. I've also turned the miniature upside down to get the other half of the lens. It makes it easier to paint. Next, I'm going to highlight the fangs and the little exhaust things coming out to the top of the model. I'm going to use the Army Painter War Paint Skeleton Bone. I'm going to dry brush this onto the model using also the Army Painter Small Dry Brush. So now I'm going to use a strong tone wash by Army Painter. I'm going to use it to shade in all these silver metallic areas to give it a bit of depth and to bring out the detail. I'm going to paint the skin now with, I'm going to wash the skin now with Druchii Violet from Citadel. This is going to give the skin, you know, like a diseased, pustule, disgusting look. Also, the purple provides a bit of contrast compared to the green. And on this occasion, I'm being a bit more cautious as I don't want this purple wash to stain the metallics or the power armor. I'm going to provide a final highlight for the metal using the plate mail metal from Army Painter. I'm going to dry brush this on all the metallic areas that were dulled down by the black wash earlier. So guys, here's the model completely finished right now. I've taken the base off and put some basic materials on there and painted that, highlighted that up. I'm quite happy with this tabletop standard. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if this has helped you. And please don't forget to subscribe. See you soon guys. Nice one. Ta.